And there were a couple of topics that we should have discussed early on that just became bigger problems later than they needed to be. So first, we found out pretty early on, about 6 months in, that one of our co-founders, he kind of had a timeline in his mind for how long he would wait for the product to go viral. It was a totally reasonable expectation, but just not something we'd really discussed. So about 6 months into our startup journey, he was getting very frustrated with the lack of traction. And it kind of caught us all by surprise since we hadn't talked about it. And, you know, it was something that just kind of built up over time, and he left the company pretty abruptly. Another topic that we should have discussed earlier was about finances and how long we could each afford to go with little to no salary. So there was a little bit of a mismatch with the founders on this. Of course, everyone's financial situation is different. This put a little bit of unexpected pressure on the company at one point. It kind of came out of nowhere, or felt like it came out of nowhere. And we ended up feeling like we needed to raise. We started considering some like lowball acqui-hire offers. And while we didn't end up taking any of these deals, I think if we'd known sooner, we probably could have made some decisions earlier on to avoid these distractions. And so just these conversations would have been really helpful to have had up front.